Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for sticking around. I know it's been quite some time since I put out a video, but after that whole rimx debacle, I decided I was going to take a little time off shooting and figure things out. And after about 6 months, I finally worked up the courage and talked sweet enough to my bank account, and I picked up what you see in front of me here. This video is going to be pretty short and sweet, to the point. So I've got the finally pulled the trigger on a Vudoo. This is their Gen 3, the 60-degree throw version, and I'll get into all that here in a little bit and show you some groups. Today I was out and I was able to test 6 different types of ammo. Here in central Ohio, it's really hard to find a day, especially this time of year, where it's not super windy. It was fairly windy today and I started getting rained on, but I'll show you those groups here in a little bit. You know, I keep getting notifications. This time about 3 years ago is when I started my channel and just started making videos for fun. Didn't really have much else to do. And the first gun that I started with was a Ruger Precision rimfire, and I thought to myself when I got home, man, this is the coolest 22 I've ever seen. And fast forward 3 years from now, when I got this rifle in front of me that's worth more than gold, it's you just really feel blessed to be able to do stuff like this. So anyway, having said that, I'll show you how it turned out for me today. And again, I was able to run through 6 types of ammo. I had more, but I started getting rained on, and I'll go worst to first as usual. The first was CCI Standard Velocity, and I ran out. I thought I had a whole box, but I didn't. But as you can see here, it shoots okay. This is going to be good enough for practice, but not the best. There's a few in there that are pretty decent, but a little over 0.6 for the average size. And again, not terrible, good for practicing. Won't ever shoot it in matches. But anyway, that's CCI Standard Velocity. Still have a whole bunch of this stuff left here. Okay, next. Next on the list is Eley Contact. So that CCI Standard Velocity was the worst at just over 0.6. So now it starts getting fairly good here. You can see the group started to tighten up here pretty good. First one had a flyer, and again, like I said, it was fairly windy, and you know, when you lay down for an hour shooting at the same thing over and over again, you really start to get fatigued, your eyes start to get blurry. So some of that was probably on me too, but anyway, average 0.490, that's Eley Contact, not too terrible. Next, one of my personal favorites next to Center-X is SK Rifle Match. And this one would have probably been the best of the day if it wasn't for the third group in on the top. I don't know what it is. When this rifle shot bad groups, it seemed to be the third one in, and I'm not quite sure why. But just looking at those, you can see, I mean, the consistency when I see something like this is really what I look at. I mean, they're pretty much all hitting the middle. Apart from, like I said, those 2 flyers, and could have been wind, could have been me, I'm not really sure. And if you look at the one on the bottom left, that was 4 through the same hole. And it was just me alone in the woods, and I was getting nervous, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to screw this up. And anytime you start thinking like that, you're going to screw it up. So as you can see, it did. Even the fouling groups there, I mean, they're all touching. So I mean, it's just fantastic. Take that group that was almost an inch out of there, and I mean, that's amazing. Again, that's SK Rifle Match. Good stuff. And next, this is something that really surprised me. Center-X. Normally, it's either first or second on performance, but I will say that when I was out today, it was the last batch that I shot before I had to go in because it started raining and was getting pretty windy. So that probably had a little bit to do with its performance. It's still not terrible. I mean, you can't complain about 0.35 at all. But as you can see, there's just a couple flies in there. Again, third one in on the top. It's that one round all the way out in left field, and this is probably me, but I don't know. So, and you can see I've got the can on the rifle. I was shooting a little bit at my house, but all this stuff I did shoot without the suppressor. And I have noticed that it does make a difference on rifles in the past. I don't know if it's because they aren't as precise as this one, but I haven't noticed as much of a difference between the can and not having the can on. They shoot pretty much about the same. With this one, I have noticed that it does throw more flyers than my other rifles did, and I'm not quite sure why. I'm definitely not going to be shooting matches with the can on anymore, just for that exact reason. I know a lot of people say that, but with this rifle it is true. Again, so there's some pretty good groups there. They're out 2, and that's pretty good. Next, I don't have the box. I threw it away because I only had one left. Something that really surprised me here was SK Biathlon Sport. If you look there, I mean, there's a .196, .192, just fantastic. Even, again, the fouling groups, this rifle really seems to like all flavors of SK, which is a good thing because I have a lot of it. But again, this is a Biathlon Sport, average .354, and these were all at 50 yards. I don't know if I said that, but I'm assuming that you guys knew that. And very surprising, and this stuff's fairly cheap. I think it's only like still, even now, like $6 a box, probably forever out of stock, but for the winter, I'm going to very strongly consider getting some more of this because that's pretty damn good. So that's Biathlon Sport. Fantastic. And the best of the day, surprisingly, everybody's favorite, SK Standard Plus. I'm going to show you here. Average .348. Take out a flyer here and there. If you look at the bottom second from the left there, .161. There's not a rifle in the world that's going to shoot better than that. Even off a bench, you just can't get better than that. So, and like I said, you get tired. Conditions were not great today. So for this rifle to perform like this in the conditions, I'm very, very pleased with it. So best of the day, SK Standard. Probably not going to be able to find this stuff. If you guys know where to get some, drop a comment in the comment section. Probably can't post a link because you'll get my video taken down. But maybe just say, hey, I got this from here, and go from there. So that's the 6 different types I tried today. My overall thoughts on this rifle, it's fantastic. The only complaint that I have really was the magazine that they ship it with. It's plastic and it was really tight. It's still getting broken in. When you shoot the stuff that has a lot of wax coating on it, like your Center-X or your SK stuff, they slide in a little bit easier. But when you're shooting stuff like Standard Velocity, even Eley Contact, it doesn't have any coating at all. It's really hard to get those rounds in there. And for you guys that have had fingered Vudoo rifles before, you know how those rounds have to be perfectly stacked in that mag or else it doesn't work right. So that's really my only complaint. I have aluminum mags ordered for it. They're just not in yet. So, you can imagine having one 10-round mag takes a really long time to shoot all this stuff. And you get bored. Well, not necessarily bored, just gets repetitive shooting the same groups over and over again. So this rifle was made by Vudoo. It came complete. I replaced the Timney trigger that they ship it with to my Trigger Tech. I like the shoe. I like the way it feels on my finger better. It came with a 30-minute rail. I have a 40. I'm going to try that eventually to really push it out to distance. And I'm going to try, if I can catch another decent day, I'm going to do another video at 100 yards to see how this rifle performs. But I'm assuming it's going to be okay. Really, other than that, it's just really, really great. The action is fantastic. It's so short. It's short enough to where you get to the top, you feel like there's more to go, but that's it. It's really nice. I don't know if I want to say that it's worth the money because they are a lot of money. But if you're going around shooting a lot, sure it is. I've already shot in one match with it and it did well. The best part about this rifle so far, in my opinion, is that I have had 0 feeding issues. Not one. It feeds them, ejects them, no problem whatsoever. And I think I'm to about 600 rounds. So I have a couple other types of ammo to try, but I think it's kind of pointless at this point because they're not going to shoot any better than what I've already tried. So again, really just a great rifle. When you see people talk about how well they shoot, they're not lying. And I'm not the best shot in the world, but when a walnut like me can sit down and print .1 groups, I think anybody can do it. So really fantastic. I appreciate the feedback, and most of it's positive. There's a few poopy pants out there, but for the most part, I love hearing from you guys and the interaction and sharing knowledge, and it's just really good. So again, thanks for sticking around. Sorry it's been so long, but love to hear from you guys. Drop a comment. Tell me what you think. See you later.